Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Margon defends Juliet Holness over PNP unsafe living remarks.
Based on the evidence that we've seen and based on statement that we've heard, we've seen several occurrences, and Mrs. Holness was speaking in her capacity as a member of Parliament in East Rural St. Andrew, where she has come across several communities where persons were encouraged in a previous period to occupy lands which were vulnerable. But I think the bigger point that Mrs. Holness was trying to make is the importance of leadership. And I think the reason that conversation is important, and I'll use one example. There were heavy rains in Bulday, and people were living almost in the river. The government said, we want to move you, we want to find somewhere for you to live. The leader of the opposition leader said that the people don't want relocation, they want assistance. We've seen in Bernard Lodge where we had evidence and we had to take it to the highest level, the National Security Council, because we had evidence that an organized criminal network was selling government lands to some unsuspecting, some naive persons. The leader of the opposition went there and said he's going to provide legal assistance against who? We saw it in Westmoreland, where the court ruled that the persons occupying the land were illegal occupiers. Came from even the murder of the original woman and property, and the family took the case to court. The leader of the opposition leader again went there, saying that the people had a right to the land, even though the court ruled. So leadership, we have two different types of leadership in Jamaica today. We have a leadership that seems to be going back to the Operation Pride style era of housing, where persons are encouraged to occupy land that does not belong to them, and then they get the cover of their political leaders. And then we have leadership that says we are a country of rules and laws. We have built and started more housing units than any other government in the history of Jamaica. So the question about whether the government cares about poor people and housing is really relevant. The question now is, how do we, as a government, structure our housing policy where persons who are vulnerable can be regularized, persons who have been put in these positions can be regularized. Some of them cannot be regularized, but they live in a riverbed. And if the government, let's say, some of the persons in Bedford Gardens who were encouraged to squat there in the riverbed, the government says, we're going to give that title, then the government has now assumed responsibility if something should happen to them. But the bigger point is about the leadership and the difference in leadership.
Health Minister brushes off call for his resignation. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton has dismissed calls for his resignation over the death of 12 newborn at Victoria Jubilee Hospital. People's National Party General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell on Thursday called for Dr. Tufton's resignation, as well as a comprehensive probe into the deaths of 43% of the neonates in the nursery at VJ age. The PNP General Secretary argued that ministers of previous administrations have lost their portfolios over neonatal deaths or lower mortality rates. Speaking on Thursday on Power 106, Minister Tufton was asked whether he will resign from his portfolio given concerns about how he has handled the death of babies matter. But Dr. Tufton said Prime Minister Juliet Holness will have to make that call, adding that until he says, I will continue to give it my best shot. The health minister said more work will have to be done in public hospitals to improve infection control. Contrary to some suggestions, he said the ministry's internal access to the bacterial outbreak did not link the situation to a shortage of medical supplies, but highlighted the patient-to-medical ratio staff. Dr. Tufton explained that the current nurse to the infant ratio is 1 to 7, 1 to 8, and in some cases 1 to 9, when ideally there should be 1 nurse to 2 infants. He reiterated that their exponential increase in the risk of infection, a situation that underscores the need for improved infection prevention and control measures, including sanitization, to minimize the prospect of cross-contamination from 1 nurse to several babies. Cop told wife goodbye 3 times on day of his death. Corporal Oliver Mullins Jr. told his wife goodbye 3 times on the ill-fated day he went to work. Neither of them knew that it would be the last time they would exchange a laugh or such a moment of affection, as several hours later the 44-year-old police was cut down in a hail of bullets while on duty in Trenchtown. Junior's wife told me that he told her goodbye 3 times, and when she asked him why he was telling her so often, Junior told his wife goodbye can't be too much. That was a Thursday evening when he was leaving for work, Oliver Mullins Sr., the father of the slain cop, reported. He left not knowing that it was the last goodbye he was telling her. The cop was one of 6 siblings, the second to last one for his parents, and also the namesake of his father. This hurts. This is the first child that I have lost. This is very hard, very hard. But my church brothers and sisters from Old Harbor Seventh-day Adventists are supporting us. My wife is shedding tears, but we are getting the support and prayers. We're trying to cope, but friends, schoolmates, and relatives are calling me and pure bawling here in Old Harbor. He was well loved, the father of 6 said. He was a passionate person, very kind. He was well loved here in Old Harbor. He is an Adventist Christian. Whenever there is a flare-up in the community, he would go there with the victim support unit and stay there and counsel people. And if he had money, he would give it to the needy willingly. Since Olivia's death, a woman came to us and said she don't know how she's going to manage, because the last time she saw Junior, he told her he would leave something for her, and he took out $2,000 and left it under a rock, under a newspaper, covered it, and told her how to find the $2,000. He was a kind man, he said. Mullins Jr., who had attended both St. Jago High and Vere Technical Schools, were killed in the Kingston Western Police Division while on duty on October 20. He was a 19-year-old veteran in the force. His death is made even more tragic given that he was the sole surviving parent for his daughter. Mullins' daughter lost her mother, Mardine Blackwood Saunders, a woman sergeant, 2 years ago, October 2020, following a motor vehicle crash along the Mandela Highway in the corporate area. The cops were traveling in a police service vehicle, also the busy roadway, when the driver lost control of the car. She had been assigned to the St. Catherine South Police Division. My granddaughter is coping. She is with my son's wife, who is taking care of her. They are devastated, but we all have to be strong, he said. Mullins Jr. is also survived by a son with his wife. The elder Mullins said his son was very brave. He was very brave, a natural crime fighter. He had never been shot before, but he had been in confrontations. While he was living with me, he told me once that he was traveling through a shortcut when 2 men attempted to rob him, and he was quick on the draw, there unable to defend himself, and he shot one of his attackers and one succumbed to his injuries. The other escaped, Mullins Sr. said. However, Mullins Jr. wasn't able to survive his latest confrontation with criminals. At about 10:45 p.m. that day, the corporal was among a team of officers who responded to a call from residents in the area. When they were attacked by a gunman, a Jamaica Constabulary Force statement said. One of the gunmen was reportedly killed in the incident. The police high command condemned the killings. At the time, Mullins was the second cop killed in less than a week. Constable Brian Martin, 22, was murdered at a wake in Frog City in the Maxfield Park community in St. Andrew 2 weeks ago. Please remember to subscribe, like, share,